Smilers. Smilers are among the most dangerous entities lurking in the backrooms, often appearing in dark areas where light is scarce. Recognized by their glowing eyes and teeth, they are amorphous creatures that can shift their bodies into many forms, from humanoid or canine shapes to massive spider-like figures. Their bodies are composed of two main parts: a black, fire-like substance that makes up most of their mass, and a glowing material that forms their iconic smile. This glow not only intimidates, but also serves as a way for them to see and hear their surroundings. These entities are extremely aggressive and intelligent. They can communicate telepathically, cooperate in groups, and often use ambush tactics to catch their prey. Survivors describe them as sadistic, known to taunt and torture victims rather than kill quickly. Their attacks are brutal and varied, including strangulation, stabbing, and mutilation, with evidence suggesting they hunt for sport rather than food. Smilers cannot be harmed by normal weapons and can phase through walls, making them nearly impossible to fight. Their only known weaknesses are light and fire. Bright light can repel them, though some endure it, and fire is the only reliable method to destroy them completely. Bon the Dancing Rabbit. Bon the Dancing Rabbit serves as the central antagonist, originally designed as a friendly blue rabbit mascot for Bon's Burgers in the early 1970s. This animatronic was created by Rosemary Walton and built by technician Susan Woodings. The robot was meant to entertain children with its dancing performances, complete with a red bow tie and cheerful appearance. However, Bon's story takes a sinister turn when a malevolent spirit, also called Bon, possesses the animatronic shortly after the restaurant's opening in June 1974. This possession transforms the once innocent entertainment robot into a murderous machine. The possessed Bon systematically hunts down and kills several people connected to the restaurant, including Susan Woodings, Charles Brooke, and even Rosemary Walton herself. Each victim is grotesquely stuffed into other animatronics after their murder. The killings force Bon's Burgers to close permanently, and the damaged animatronic is moved to a storage facility where it continues its deadly rampage over the years. The spirit controlling Bon appears to have a particular obsession with Sophie Walton, Jack Walton's daughter, making the animatronic a persistent threat that haunts the family's tragic legacy. Over time, the once pristine blue rabbit becomes increasingly damaged and disturbing, with exposed metal parts and a more sinister appearance reflecting the evil that now inhabits it. Host of Influence. The host of influence, scientifically known as Imperium Carnis, is perhaps one of the most insidious predators in the Vita Carnis family. This semi-humanoid creature has a head, torso, and arms, but lacks legs entirely. Instead, its lower body consists of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow deep into the ground, anchoring it in place. What makes the host truly terrifying is its method of hunting. From pores on its back, it releases airborne spores that can travel vast distances on the wind. When these microscopic particles are inhaled, they make their way to the victim's brain and begin a slow but inevitable takeover. The infection process is gradual and methodical. Within hours, victims experience restlessness, sluggish movement, and loss of coordination. As symptoms progress to dizziness, migraines, and impaired speech, the infected person loses control of their own actions. After 6 to 7 hours, they stop whatever they're doing and begin walking directly toward the host that infected them. Upon reaching their destination, victims kneel down and expose their vital organs, allowing the host to gut and consume them. The creature's name comes from this twisted invitation, like a host inviting guests to dinner, except the guests become the meal. If treatment is received within 36 hours, the effects can be reversed, but few realize they're infected until it's too late. Guilt. Guilt is a supernatural entity that appears as the vengeful spirit of a drowned infant. This being manifests as an unnaturally tall, slender figure with stark white skin and a severely decaying neck. Its most distinctive feature is a flattened or sliced head from which dark roots or mold-like growths emerge from the throat area. The entity represents the psychological aftermath of parental neglect that resulted in an infant's death by drowning in a bathtub. The tragedy occurred when a caregiver left their child unattended, leading to the tub overflowing and the subsequent drowning. Evidence of this incident includes the presence of children's furniture, like cribs and toys, in the surrounding area, indicating this was an active nursery environment. The nature of this entity remains ambiguous. It could function as a psychological manifestation, a hallucination created by extreme guilt and self-hatred following the tragic incident. The parent's mind may have generated this apparition as a way of processing overwhelming remorse and denial about what occurred. Alternatively, the entity might represent a genuine supernatural presence, with the deceased child's spirit returning to seek retribution against the negligent caregiver. The entity typically manifests in bathroom spaces, particularly near bathtubs where the original incident took place. Its behavior suggests it serves as a constant reminder of parental failure and the consequences of momentary inattention. The recommended method for avoiding encounters with this entity involves maintaining moral behavior and avoiding actions that would generate feelings of guilt or remorse. The follower. The follower is a small but disturbing creature with the appearance of a molten red head attached to a tiny, caterpillar-shaped black body. Its swollen vermilion eyes bulge outward, and its jaw reveals a crooked set of teeth, giving it a grotesque, almost unfinished look. What makes the follower unusual is its behavior. Instead of attacking directly, it speaks to its victims, telling them that nothing is chasing them in the dark and that they can rest without fear. On the surface, this might sound reassuring, but its words carry a twisted irony. Human instincts often sense danger before the mind can explain it, and when the body feels fear in the dark, it usually has a reason. By dismissing those feelings, the follower feeds anxiety rather than calming it, using false comfort as a form of psychological torment. Its connection to other entities suggests it may share traits with the Boiled One, or Fen 228, both known for exploiting fear. While the follower does not appear to be physically powerful, its strength lies in manipulation and creating paranoia. The most reliable way to avoid it is by not interacting at all. Turn off the television if it appears and do not acknowledge it. Bridgeworm. Bridgeworm is a worm-like predator that typically nests beneath bridges and overpasses. It hunts at night, using the cover of darkness and abandoned infrastructure to stay hidden. Despite its size, it moves quickly and has been reported to travel long distances undetected, possibly using smaller bridges and tunnels as cover. Its most notable feature is a false face, an unsettling flap of flesh that displays a neutral expression with dark eye slits and a small mouth. This face serves as a primitive mimicry tactic, meant to appear harmless or even human from a distance. But once prey is close enough, the flap peels back to reveal the creature's real face, a wide mouth filled with 36 human-like teeth and wildly misaligned, bouncing eyes. The skin on its true face shares similarities with human tissue, making it even more disturbing upon close inspection. The creature has 2 sets of long, bone-like arms, front and back, allowing for both agility and capture. In some cases, it's believed that fully matured bridgeworms become the much larger and more featureless highway worms. It has never been successfully killed, and when threatened, it reacts violently. Even its mimicry, though flawed, is enough to fool the unwary. Filbus. Filbus is a tall, humanoid figure with pale skin, elongated limbs, and a body that partially resembles the legs of a chair. His head is bald and bulbous, with shadowed eyes, and a mouth that never closes, giving him a strange, lifeless expression. He dresses in a black garment with dark red, green, and gold stripes, and often wears a black top hat, further adding to his unusual appearance. What makes Filbus dangerous is not his physical form, but the philosophy he spreads, known as Filbism. This belief system is both religious and political in nature, centered on the worship and consumption of chairs and wooden furniture. Followers of Filbism are taught that building and eating chairs honors a mysterious great sacrifice made by Filbus, though the details of this sacrifice remain unexplained. Practitioners engage in woodworking, create methods for digesting wood, and even gather in online forums to discuss their devotion. Filbus's influence spreads through media hijacking. He interrupts broadcasts, commercials, and even horror series segments to advertise his teachings, encouraging viewers to consume the body of Filbus by eating a chair. Disturbingly, any attempt to discuss or cover Filbism eventually transforms into disguised promotion, leaving no reliable way to suppress its spread. The monster. The monster, also called the life form, is the main antagonist from the series Winter of '83. It is not a single creature, but a colony of sentient bacteria born from a secret government experiment known as Project Freezing Rain. Initially contained in a lab beneath Scott's Manor, the organism quickly displayed intelligence, learning human language and communicating with researchers through computers. Over time, It developed a god complex, insisting that humanity should be assimilated into its being rather than control it. The life form sustains itself by manipulating sound frequencies and broadcast signals, which also allow it to influence and lure people. Its most recognizable tactic is mimicking voices, repeating phrases such as, "Hey, can you help me with this?" to trick victims into stepping outside. Once in the blizzard it generates, they are consumed and absorbed into the colony. This power to create snowstorms was used to trap the residents of Fawn's Circle, isolating them under constant supernatural snowfall. As it spread, the life form grew increasingly sadistic, hijacking city broadcasts to taunt survivors and promise that, "You will be like us." Although its control weakened when the snow melted, evidence suggests the organism survived and began planning to expand its reach beyond the county.